Ladies and gentlemen, let's begin with an important distinction. Detachment is not indifference. It's not about being cold, distant, or uninterested. Detachment is about knowing your worth, holding your ground, and prioritizing your well-being over external validation. This mindset is not just attractive, it's magnetic. Detachment, at its core, is a reflection of self-worth. It's not about ignoring others or pretending to be disinterested. Instead, it's a quiet, unshakable confidence that comes from understanding your intrinsic value and refusing to compromise it for external validation. When a woman fully embodies this mindset, it shows in every aspect of her life, her actions, words, and even this kind of detachment isn't forced or calculated, it's natural. And that's precisely what makes it so captivating. When a woman knows her worth, she doesn't chase attention, approval, or affection. She doesn't measure her self-esteem by how others treat her or how much they affirm her. Instead, her confidence is rooted internally, built on her strengths, accomplishments, and sense of purpose. This independence stands out because it's rare. Many people, consciously or unconsciously, look to others to validate their existence. A woman who doesn't need that external validation becomes magnetic because she radiates a sense of completeness. It's as if she's saying, I am enough, and that energy naturally draws others toward her. Men in particular are highly sensitive to this energy. It's not something they may articulate consciously, but they notice when a woman feels whole on her own. That inner completeness eliminates the neediness that often accompanies relationships built on insecurity. Instead of clinging to a partner out of fear of being alone, a detached woman approaches relationships from a place of she isn't with someone because she needs them to feel whole. She's with them because she genuinely enjoys their company. This distinction is crucial because it shifts the dynamic from dependence to mutual respect. A woman who chooses a partner out of desire, not necessity, creates an entirely different kind of connection, one that is freer, more authentic, and deeply attractive. This sense of detachment also reflects in her demeanor. She doesn't rush to respond to every text or feel compelled to prove her worth through constant communication or overextending herself. She's comfortable taking her time, prioritizing her own needs, and setting boundaries. This isn't about playing games or trying to manipulate. It's simply the result of knowing what she deserves and not settling for less. A man observing this behavior recognizes it for what it is: self-respect. And self-respect is inherently appealing because it sets a high standard. It's a silent invitation for others to rise to meet those standards instead of expecting her to lower them. Additionally, detachment brings a level of unpredictability that keeps things exciting. People are naturally drawn to those who have a sense of mystery, not because they're intentionally withholding, but because they're deeply immersed in their own lives. A detached woman isn't consumed by the need to explain herself or overshare every detail. She's focused on her passions, goals, and personal growth. This creates an air of intrigue, making others curious about her world and eager to learn more. Men in particular are often drawn to women who have their own lives because it signals that she won't lose herself in the relationship. She's not looking for someone to complete her, she's already complete. Detachment also communicates emotional stability, which is a cornerstone of any healthy relationship. A woman who knows her worth doesn't crumble at the first sign of rejection or difficulty. She understands that her value isn't diminished by someone else's inability to see it. Instead of reacting with desperation or frustration, she maintains her composure and moves forward with grace. This emotional resilience is incredibly attractive because it shows that she can navigate life's challenges without falling apart. Men are drawn to this stability because it creates a sense of safety and reliability in the relationship. It's the difference between being with someone who adds chaos to your life and someone who brings balance and peace. What's most fascinating about detachment is how it transforms the energy of a relationship. When a woman is detached, she doesn't fall into the trap of overgiving or overcompromising. She approaches the relationship as an equal, bringing her full self to the table without losing her individuality. This dynamic allows for a healthier, more balanced connection where both partners feel valued and respected. Men, in turn, feel more compelled to invest in the relationship because they sense that her affection isn't easily won, it's earned. This creates a cycle of mutual appreciation where both parties are motivated to bring their best selves to the relationship. In the end, detachment isn't about creating distance or pushing others away. It's about standing firm in your own value and refusing to compromise it for anyone. It's a quiet strength, a deep-rooted confidence that doesn't demand attention but naturally attracts it. A woman who embodies this level of self-worth becomes magnetic, not because she's trying to be, but because she simply is. And that kind of attraction is not only powerful, but enduring. Attraction thrives in the presence of independence and fades in the shadow of neediness. When a woman detaches emotionally and relies on her own sense of fulfillment, she creates an energy that is deeply compelling. This isn't about ignoring or dismissing others, nor is it about pretending not to care. It's about cultivating a foundation of emotional stability and self-reliance that makes her presence magnetic. Men are naturally drawn to this energy because it signals a sense of security and self-possession, and then self-possession is a quality that inspires admiration and desire. Neediness, on the other hand, tends to repel. It manifests as an excessive reliance on external validation for happiness and self-worth, which can feel suffocating or overwhelming in a relationship. When a woman constantly seeks reassurance, overanalyzes every interaction, or becomes overly focused on the actions and responses of her partner, it creates an emotional imbalance. Instead of allowing the connection to evolve naturally, neediness introduces tension and pressure that can strain even the strongest bonds. Men instinctively pick up on this dynamic and may begin to pull away, not because they lack interest, but because the relationship starts to feel like a weight rather than a source of joy and connection. Independence, by contrast, creates space for attraction to grow. A woman who is emotionally detached doesn't need constant affirmation because her happiness isn't tied to someone else's actions. She finds fulfillment in her own life, her own goals, and her own passions. This autonomy allows her to engage in relationships from a place of strength rather than dependence. When she is calm, centered, and emotionally secure, she becomes a source of stability, and that is incredibly attractive. Men are drawn to women who exude this sense of balance because it creates a dynamic where both individuals can thrive without feeling trapped or burdened. Detachment also introduces a sense of ease into relationships, which is often undervalued but deeply important. When a woman isn't fixated on controlling every aspect of a relationship or seeking constant reassurance, the dynamic becomes lighter, more playful, and less pressured. Men often feel more comfortable and relaxed around a woman who doesn't rely on them for her emotional stability. This freedom allows for a more natural connection to form, one based on genuine enjoyment and mutual respect rather than obligation or fear of loss. Another reason independence is so appealing is that it demonstrates emotional resilience. A woman who is emotionally detached can handle life's ups and downs without falling apart or turning to her partner for constant rescue. She doesn't let rejection, disappointment, or setbacks shake her sense of self-worth. Instead, she processes these experiences with grace and moves forward. This resilience signals strength, which is a quality that men, and people in general, admire. It shows that she can navigate life's challenges with confidence and composure, making her a reliable and trustworthy partner. A detached woman also brings a refreshing dynamic to a relationship, the absence of control or manipulation. When a woman is emotionally needy, she may unknowingly try to control her partner's behavior to feel secure. This might involve seeking constant updates, demanding attention, or expecting her partner to prioritize her above everything else. While these behaviors might stem from insecurity rather than malice, they can create feelings of resentment or resistance. A woman who is emotionally independent, however, has no need to control or manipulate. She trusts herself and the relationship enough to let it unfold naturally, which fosters a deeper sense of trust and respect between both partners. One of the most compelling aspects of detachment is the space it creates for personal growth. A woman who is emotionally independent focuses on her own development, whether that's through pursuing her career, exploring her passions, or nurturing her relationships outside of her romantic partnership. This focus on self-improvement not only enriches her own life, but also adds depth to the relationship. Men are drawn to women who bring something unique and valuable to the table. When she has her own interests, goals, and aspirations, she becomes a source of inspiration rather than a drain on their energy. Independence also shifts the power dynamic in relationships in a healthy way. When a woman isn't emotionally reliant on her partner, she naturally commands respect. Men understand that her affection and time are valuable because she isn't offering them out of need, but out of genuine desire. This changes the way they approach the relationship. Instead of taking her for granted, they are more likely to invest effort and care into maintaining their connection because they recognize her value. Ultimately, the appeal of detachment lies in its balance. It's not about being distant or unavailable. It's about being emotionally secure and self-sufficient. This mindset creates a relationship dynamic where both partners can thrive as individuals while building a strong, healthy bond. Men are instinctively drawn to women who embody this balance because it creates a relationship that feels fulfilling, freeing, and deeply rewarding. When a woman lets go of neediness and embraces her independence, she becomes not only more attractive, but also a more powerful presence in her own life. When a woman prioritizes her personal growth over seeking validation from others, she enters a space of true empowerment. This mindset shifts her focus from trying to gain approval or attention to becoming the best version of herself, which is an inherently attractive quality. Growth-oriented individuals have an energy that naturally draws others in because they exude confidence, purpose, and a sense of this shift from validation seeking to self-improvement not only enhances her own life, but also creates a magnetic pull in her relationships, particularly with men who value authenticity and depth. Validation seeking often stems from insecurity, where someone looks to others to affirm their worth. This can lead to behaviors that are unintentionally off-putting, such as constant reassurance seeking, over-explaining, or relying heavily on someone else to feel whole. While these actions might seem harmless on the surface, they can create a dynamic where the other person feels pressured to constantly provide emotional support, which can be draining over time. Men in particular may perceive this as neediness, which can push them away even if they initially had strong feelings of attraction. In contrast, a woman who prioritizes her growth operates from a place of internal validation. She doesn't need others to tell her she's enough because she already believes it herself. Her sense of self-worth isn't tied to anyone's opinion or actions, which makes her both confident and self-assured. Men are drawn to this because it signals emotional stability and independence. Instead of looking to a partner to complete her, she's focused on completing her own goals, improving her skills, and expanding her experiences. This creates a dynamic where she isn't dependent on someone else for happiness, making her presence refreshing and inspiring. Another aspect of focusing on growth is the sense of purpose it brings. A woman who is actively working toward her goals has a natural sense of drive and passion that is impossible to ignore. This energy is contagious because it shows she's fully engaged in her life. Men find this particularly attractive because it reflects a life that's exciting and dynamic. When someone is deeply invested in their own progress, they naturally create a ripple effect that inspires those around them. A man observing this will feel motivated not only to pursue her, but also to elevate his own life to match her energy. Moreover, when a woman values growth over validation, she becomes less reactive to external circumstances. She doesn't take every comment, action, or misunderstanding personally. Instead, she focuses on learning from her experiences and improving herself. This emotional resilience is incredibly appealing because it eliminates unnecessary drama and creates a sense of calm in the relationship. Men often value this steadiness because it fosters trust and a sense of security. It allows the relationship to be a source of joy and mutual growth rather than a source of tension or constant reassurance. Focusing on growth also means she's not afraid to step out of her comfort zone. A woman who prioritizes personal development is always seeking to learn new things, face challenges, and grow from them. This adventurous spirit and willingness to evolve create an aura of excitement and unpredictability. Men are naturally drawn to this because it signals that she's someone who can bring fresh experiences and perspectives into their lives. It also indicates that she's not afraid of change, which is an essential quality for building a resilient and lasting relationship. Another compelling aspect of this mindset is that it fosters authenticity. A woman who is focused on her own growth doesn't feel the need to pretend or put on a facade to impress others. She knows that her value lies in who she truly is, not in trying to mold herself into someone else's expectations. This authenticity is deeply attractive because it creates a sense of trust and honesty. Men appreciate women who are genuine and confident in their uniqueness because it allows for a more open and real connection. Focusing on growth rather than validation also leads to better boundaries. A woman who prioritizes her own development is clear about what she wants and needs in her relationships. She's not afraid to say no to things that don't align with her values or goals. This clarity and self-respect make her more attractive because it shows she knows her worth and won't settle for less. Men respect this because it sets a standard for the relationship, encouraging mutual effort and care. Finally, this growth-oriented mindset transforms the dynamic of attraction itself. When a woman is focused on becoming the best version of herself, she creates a sense of abundance. She isn't clinging to relationships or attention because she knows she has so much to offer and so much to achieve. This energy of abundance makes her irresistible because it shows she's not afraid to let go of what doesn't serve her. Men are drawn to this because it signals confidence, freedom, and an ability to create a fulfilling life with or without a partner. By focusing on growth rather than validation, a woman not only enhances her own life, but also becomes a powerful force of attraction. Her independence, purpose, and authenticity make her stand out in a world where many seek approval from others. Men are not only drawn to this energy, but are also inspired by it, creating a dynamic where the relationship becomes a space of mutual respect, admiration, and growth. When a woman operates from a mindset of abundance rather than scarcity, she naturally creates an energy that draws others to her. This abundance mindset doesn't mean having endless resources or opportunities, but rather the belief that what is meant for her will find her, and she doesn't need to cling to relationships, people, or circumstances to feel secure. It's about trusting that there is always more love, more opportunities, and more experiences waiting to be discovered. This inner confidence and sense of self-sufficiency is incredibly attractive because it exudes calmness and composure, qualities that people instinctively gravitate toward. Scarcity, on the other hand, is rooted in fear of losing someone, fear of being alone, or fear of missing out on something better. When a woman operates from this mindset, her actions often reflect desperation or anxiety. She may cling to relationships that no longer serve her, or overextend herself to gain approval, or compromise her values to keep someone close. While these behaviors might come from a well-intentioned place, they often have the opposite effect. The energy of scarcity can feel overwhelming or even suffocating, making others feel as though they are being chased or trapped. Men, in particular, are sensitive to this dynamic and may unconsciously pull away when they sense that their partner is operating from fear rather than confidence. In contrast, a woman with an abundance mindset radiates independence and emotional stability. She doesn't feel the need to control or manipulate situations to keep them in her favor. Instead, she allows relationships and opportunities to flow naturally, trusting that what's meant for her will remain and what isn't will naturally fall away. This sense of detachment isn't about being indifferent or aloof, but about having the confidence to let go of things that don't align with her values or goals. Men are deeply attracted to this sense of ease because it removes the pressure and tension often associated with relationships driven by scarcity. Instead of feeling like they need to constantly prove their worth, they feel free to simply enjoy the connection. And a woman who operates from abundance also exudes self-assurance in the way she interacts with others. She doesn't chase attention or validation because she knows her worth isn't dependent on how others perceive her. This quiet confidence sets her apart because it creates a sense of mystery and intrigue. She doesn't overshare or feel the need to constantly explain herself, which makes her presence even more magnetic. Men are naturally drawn to this kind of energy because it suggests that she has a full, rich life outside of any relationship. This independence is not only refreshing, but also inspiring, as it shows that she isn't afraid to stand on her own. The abundance mindset also affects the way a woman views challenges and setbacks in relationships. Instead of seeing a breakup or rejection as the end of the world, she views it as an opportunity for growth and redirection. She doesn't dwell on what was lost or what could have been, but focuses instead on what she has learned and how she can move forward. This resilience and optimism are incredibly attractive because they show emotional maturity and a sense of perspective. Men are drawn to women who can handle life's ups and downs with grace because it creates a sense of stability and strength in their relationship. Another way abundance manifests is through generosity, not in the sense of giving too much of herself to others, but in the way she approaches relationships. A woman with an abundance mindset doesn't hold back affection, kindness, or support out of fear that she won't get it in return. She gives freely, not because she expects anything in return, but because she knows that her own happiness isn't diminished by giving. This openness and warmth create a positive feedback loop where others feel inspired to give back, creating a dynamic of mutual care and respect. Men, in particular, are drawn to this kind of energy because it makes them feel appreciated and valued without the weight of expectations. Abundance also creates space for individuality within a relationship. A woman who embraces this mindset doesn't feel threatened by her partner's independence or success. Instead, she celebrates it, knowing that her partner's growth doesn't take anything away from her own. This lack of jealousy or competition fosters a sense of trust and partnership that is deeply fulfilling. Men are drawn to women who can support their growth without feeling insecure because it allows both individuals to thrive together rather than being held back by fear or doubt. Finally, the abundance mindset allows a woman to approach relationships with a sense of playfulness and curiosity. Instead of viewing every interaction as a high-stakes situation, she enjoys the process of getting to know someone without attaching herself to a specific outcome. This lighthearted approach makes her presence enjoyable and uplifting, which naturally attracts others to her. Men, in particular, appreciate this ease because it removes the pressure to perform or meet unrealistic expectations, allowing for a more genuine connection to develop. A woman who operates from a place of abundance doesn't just attract people, she inspires them. Her confidence, resilience, and openness create a dynamic where others feel uplifted and motivated to bring their best selves to the relationship. This energy of abundance isn't something she tries to manufacture. It's a natural byproduct of knowing her worth and trusting in the limitless opportunities life has to offer. Men find this energy irresistible because it represents freedom, security, and the potential for a relationship that is both fulfilling and expansive. Mystery has long been regarded as one of the most captivating qualities a person can possess, and its allure lies in what it suggests rather than what it reveals. When a woman maintains an air of mystery, she becomes undeniably compelling because she invites curiosity rather than immediately satisfying it. This isn't about playing games or withholding information out of manipulation. It's about the natural magnetism that arises when someone doesn't feel the need to share everything about themselves up front. Men are often drawn to this dynamic because it creates a sense of intrigue, prompting them to invest time and energy in uncovering who she truly is. The power of mystery lies in its ability to spark imagination. When a woman doesn't immediately lay all her thoughts, feelings, and life story on the table, she leaves room for others to wonder about her. This space for imagination is what keeps people intrigued. Men, in particular, are often motivated by a sense of pursuit, the desire to uncover layers and get to know someone on a deeper level. If everything is revealed too quickly, the sense of discovery fades, and the initial spark of interest may wane. On the other hand, a woman who reveals herself gradually creates an ongoing sense of fascination, allowing the relationship to develop at a natural and steady pace. Mystery also signals confidence. A woman who is comfortable with not oversharing exudes a quiet assurance that speaks volumes about her self-worth. She doesn't feel the need to over-explain herself, seek constant reassurance, or justify her actions. This kind of calm and composed demeanor draws men in because it suggests she's secure in who she is. It's not about being distant or unapproachable, but about holding back just enough to show that her life is rich and full, independent of external validation. Men are particularly attracted to this kind of energy because it demonstrates self-sufficiency and a sense of purpose, qualities that are universally appealing. Maintaining an air of mystery also keeps interactions fresh and exciting. When a woman is unpredictable in the best way, whether it's through her thoughts, passions, or the way she approaches life, she keeps others on their toes. This unpredictability creates a dynamic where men feel challenged, intrigued, and eager to learn more. It's not about creating drama or being inconsistent, but about embracing a sense of spontaneity and individuality that keeps relationships from falling into monotony. Men appreciate this because it makes the time spent together feel more vibrant and engaging. Another important element of mystery is emotional depth. A woman who is mysterious often has a certain depth to her character that isn't immediately visible. She doesn't wear all her emotions on her sleeve, but that doesn't mean she's cold or unfeeling. Instead, she chooses to share her innermost thoughts and feelings with those who have truly earned her trust and respect. This discernment is attractive because it shows that she values her emotional world and doesn't give it away lightly. Men are drawn to this quality because it suggests that she is selective about who she lets into her life, making her attention and affection feel meaningful and rare. Mystery also creates a sense of balance in relationships. A woman who maintains some level of independence and privacy ensures that there's always more to discover about her. This balance prevents the relationship from becoming stagnant or one-sided. Men are more likely to invest effort and care when they feel there's always something new to learn or experience with their partner. By not laying everything bare from the start, she keeps the relationship dynamic and evolving, which is essential for long-term attraction. A mysterious woman is also often more focused on the present moment. She doesn't feel the need to endlessly rehash the past or speculate about the future. This presence allows her to engage fully with her partner, creating meaningful and memorable interactions. Men find this quality appealing because it allows for genuine connection without the weight of unnecessary pressure or distractions. Being fully present in a conversation or shared experience makes her feel grounded and confident, which enhances her overall appeal. Finally, mystery is not about being secretive or closed off, but about maintaining a sense of individuality within a relationship. A woman who values her privacy and personal space shows that she doesn't lose herself in her connections. She continues to nurture her own interests, friendships, and goals, which makes her life vibrant and multifaceted. Men are drawn to this because it ensures the relationship doesn't become all-consuming. Instead, it creates a dynamic where both partners can continue to grow as individuals while building something meaningful together. The allure of mystery lies in its ability to create anticipation and a sense of discovery. It fosters curiosity, sparks imagination, and keeps relationships exciting and balanced. By not revealing everything at once, a woman allows others to truly appreciate her depth and complexity, making her presence irresistible. Men are naturally drawn to this quality because it challenges them to invest time and effort into understanding her, creating a deeper and more meaningful connection over time. In essence, men are deeply attracted to women who embrace the art of detachment, not as a tactic, but as a reflection of their self-worth, independence, and emotional balance. By prioritizing personal growth over validation, operating from a mindset of abundance, maintaining an air of mystery, and setting strong boundaries, a woman becomes magnetic in her presence. She radiates confidence, authenticity, and resilience, qualities that naturally draw others to her without force or desperation. So take these analogies with a grain of salt. Detachment isn't about pushing people away, it's about creating space for meaningful connections to flourish. When a woman knows her value and lives with purpose, she inspires admiration and respect, elevating not only her relationships, but also herself.